Hi, I'm Jordan Clemons. You ever wondered why it seems like this generation has declined in morality and in succeeding academically? Prayers in school, I think, is one reason. In my opinion, prayer is a positive and empowering tool to have in our schools today and in our school systems. And there is a high cost that is paid when we take prayer out of schools. I'm a Christian and I believe in the power of prayer. And I also believe that God answers prayers. It seems as if the number of schools in the world today are taking prayer out of their agendas, and it's growing in leaps and in bounds. And this saddens me. The fact that they're taking prayer out of school saddens me deeply, because I see the effects of this change in this generation of young people. It seems that immorality is an okay thing, and that this generation, it knows no bounds. Teen sex is another consequence that seems to be on the rise as a result of taking prayer out of schools. Thus, the reason we see more pregnant teens in this generation than ever before. And they try to survive and try to provide for their family and for their children when they're really just children themselves. Another change that I've noticed in the young people of today is the change in language. In the 1950s, the only thing you had to worry about in school, as far as young people went, from 5th grade or 4th grade even, on up to high school and graduation, the only thing you had to worry about was chewing gum in school in the 1950s. Now it seems that the cool thing to do is to use pervasive language and disrespect those that are in authority over you, such as the teacher. Young people today aren't taught at home or at school the respect that their teachers deserve, or that their peers deserve, others deserve, or the ones in authority over them deserves. That's why we see more teens growing up to be drug dealers, gang leaders, and thieves, instead of exceeding and excelling academically in the way that they're supposed to. I believe it's a result from taking prayers out of schools. I believe a lot of the things that we see today are a result of taking prayer and taking God out of things that He's always been in. Up until, or according to the Engel versus Vitale case, up until June 25th, 1962, American students had been allowed to publicly call upon the name of the Lord at the beginning and at the start of each and every school day. It was on this day that 39 million students were forbidden to pray publicly at school, out loud, and in front of everyone. It was on this day that they were forbidden to do what they and their forefathers have done for years, and have done since the beginning of time. Since June of 1962, there has been a rapid decline in students' class academic scores and their productivity and motivation. For instance, from the year 1963, the SAT scores have declined majorly, even though the same test has been given since 1941. Major decline has been seen in the SAT scores. An increase in drug usage has sprung to life in our schools since that time in 1962. From smoking on school property, to doing drugs, to shooting up drugs and smoking marijuana on school property. All of these have increased since prayer has been taken out of school. All of these things have increased since we've taken God out of schools. Peace has been violated since the removal of prayer. That's another thing we look at. You go to school nowadays, there's young people that are in fear of being bullied or pushed around because of other people that are going to school, because of their other classmates pushing them around or calling them names, bullying them. I believe that's another result from taking prayers out of schools. School shootings have become a normal occurrence since prayer has been taken out of school, whereas before, school shootings were almost never heard of. We wonder why these things happen. We wonder why these things occur. I believe prayer being taken out of schools plays a major, and I mean a major role in this. Between 1946 until the school prayer decision of 1962, for the 15 through 19 and the 20 through 24 age group, the youth suicide rate has increased and jumped dramatically. suicides since then, since 1962, have increased 253%. Most of these, I believe, are caused from the depression and struggles at home and abuse at home, verbal abuse from others. Peer pressure plays a big role as well. Also, the lack of an appropriate role model causes some teen and youths to have suicidal thoughts. I personally believe that prayer plays a huge role in the molding and in the shaping of the young people of this generation. I believe when we take prayer out of schools and we take God out of schools and out of our agendas, that things begin to decay and begin to fall apart. Because God is what this country was founded upon. Our forefathers founded this country and this great nation upon God. And that's why I believe a lot of things are falling apart in this day and age. Because we're taking God away from this generation. The positive side to having prayer in schools far outweighs the negative side. As the Washington Times claims, if other states would allow prayers in schools, it wouldn't require everyone to pray. It wouldn't require everyone that didn't want to pray. But if it would allow those who wanted to pray, it would be a much greater thing for everyone. Those that wanted to go, they could go through with it. Those that didn't want to, they wouldn't have to. But I believe that we need to get prayers back into schools. I believe that that's where it was founded upon. That's where things are better all the way around. We must have prayer in schools. And in conclusion, I believe that the positive side to prayer truly does outweigh the negative side. And I hope that everyone else will see this and will understand this, because I believe when we do, that this country will be a much greater place. Thank you.